This project actually started with some Christmas ribbon and a bag that I made while I was at one of my coast quilting retreats with my mom, but that bag had a zipper and the zipper didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and then the holiday season was over and I thought I would use this cute lemon ribbon from the Dollar Tree to do something similar. And it has been over a year. I finally sat down this morning, sewed the bag. It is a quick and easy snap bag, and for a project that took something like 18 months to finally come together, the actual sewing only took a few minutes. I decided to document how I did it so that if you want to make your own, you can. I'm Michelle, this is my romantic tangle, and let's make a snap bag. My plan started with Dollar Tree ribbon and some Dollar Tree lace, and then I got coordinating fat quarters of fabric at Walmart. A lot of time, probably more than a year, has passed since I got the idea for this project and bought the materials, and I've changed my mind over and over on how I want to do it. The plan was always for a ribbon between two edges of lace on the yellow background with the green lining, but I changed my mind about the size, and I changed my mind about whether I wanted raw edges inside the bag or if I wanted to finish it more neatly than that. In the end, I cut a piece of each color. These are about 10 inches by 20 inches, but those measurements aren't exact because I was doing it for myself, and when I'm doing it for myself, I'm concentrated on getting the edges straight and not the exact measurements. I eyeballed it. This looked good. I've sandwiched my two pieces of fabric together. They are solid, so there is no right or wrong side to worry about. And I'm going to sew around the edges, leaving just enough of an opening to turn them when it's done. I left the opening at one of the short ends because it'll be caught up in another seam when I finish the bag. I turned it right side out, ironed it to get all of the wrinkles out, cut two pieces from my trusty dollar store tape measure that I am keeping from retracting all the way with a little magnetic clip. We are going to pretend that I didn't use a pair of good fabric scissors to cut the measuring tape with because I got distracted and forgot, and this is why I use inexpensive fabric scissors. If something happens, they're replaceable. I'm not the sort of person who could keep track of a good one. You need these to be short enough that they won't get caught up in your seams, and honestly, I think these need to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut another 1/4 inch or so off of them. I round the ends over the garbage can because those little corners are sharp. That looks a lot better, and this time I used the right scissors. Projects like this that I do on the fly have a lot of different little decisions that need to be made. It could be done either way. There is not a right or wrong way. It's just the mood I was in on the day that I made it. I could have skipped this pillowcase step and left the edges raw inside the bag or zigzagged them, but I think I'm going to use this for a sock project, and so I didn't want to have little bits of fabric fraying into my sock yarn. Another day, I might make a different choice. I also did a lot of considering of whether I wanted green as the outside or yellow as the outside, and I was sure it was going to be a yellow outside with a green interior, but now I think I'm changing my mind and I'm going to have the green as the exterior. I'm going to fold this short edge down about 1 inch. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement. I just need enough of a casing for my measuring tape to fit through, and I need it to be the same at both ends. So I'm going to fold that over and sew it, and I'm going to fold it over to make sure that my two casings match on the front and the back. That top stitching would have showed less visibly if the yellow was the exterior, but I'm committed now. It's a basting stitch. I could pick it out, but I feel committed. Now that I've got a better idea of the size of the finished bag, I'm going to fold it in half and decide where to place this ribbon and lace. This Dollar Tree lace has a straight edge and a slightly scalloped edge, so the straight edge is going against the lace. I'm going to overlap it just a tiny bit, and what I'm going to do is first I'm going to sew down the lemon, then I'm going to go over it again and sew on the two outer borders of lace. And I did on the previous bag that I did, I sewed the lace on both edges. I'm gonna think about what I want to do this time because it might not need to be quite that secure. I've got the lace on and now I'm going to use my rotary cutter to trim the edges to even them up with these sides. I could have sewn this on before I sewed the front and back together so that these edges would be caught in with those edges and there would really be no exposed edges on the outside, but I just wasn't feeling ambitious enough to figure out everything's placement today. We're going to fold this with right sides together. We're going to take our 2 strips of measuring tape and slide them into the casings. We want to make sure that the curve is going towards the inside of the bag, which means with the bag inside out, the curve will be going out. The curve needs to be going in the same direction as your lining is. I'm going to put these in. I'm going to center them carefully so that my sewing machine needle does not hit them. And I'm going to use that 1/4 inch seam and sew down both sides. I have got these measuring tapes a little out to the edge, and before I sew the other side, I'm going to push them all the way back to the other side. I have run over worse things with my sewing machine needle, but you don't want to do that. And now that I've got the side seams done, I'm going to turn the whole thing right side out. This is a cute, quick little project that is just the right size for holding a full-size skein of sock yarn in a larger project bag. It should not have taken me anywhere near this long to actually sew it, but you know, life gets in the way and things happen, and I'm glad I stopped procrastinating and finally did it. I've got a lot of other ribbon in my stash, and some of it is definitely going to be bags like this one. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my Romantic Tangle.